Yo, what's going on guys, Arekkz here, welcome back to another Destiny video, and the final episode of A View from the Tower, the series that I've been producing in partnership with Game and Activision to talk about some of the awesome stuff you can do in Rise of Iron, whilst also covering all the important aspects of the game for those of you that are setting foot in the Destiny universe for the first time. Throughout this series we've covered pretty much everything you can get up to right from the very start, when you take your very first steps as a Guardian, all the way to the very end, where most of us now stand alongside Lord Saladin as an Iron Lord. We've conquered challenges, earned loads of awesome new gear, and now we're looking forward to what comes next. We've already had one surprise this week in the form of the first challenge mode for the Wrath of the Machine raid. Hopefully by now a lot of you guys have challenged VOSIK and won, and if you still have yet to do that, then be sure to check out the guide in the channel to find out what you need to do. Of course, one challenge still remains, that is Asus, and that will most likely be presented to us next week. But beyond that, there are still a couple of things on the horizon. So, in this video, we're going to take a moment to super quickly recap everything you can do in Destiny, that is the whole series, and also talk about what's still left to come. So if you do enjoy this, then a like would be super appreciated, and also comment down below and let me know what your Rise of Iron highlight has been. Also, if you guys have got a friend that you're looking to get into Destiny, then send them a link to this video, because this will give them a hyper quick understanding of what the series has to offer. Starting from the top, there are over 45 campaign missions that can now be completed both solo and cooperatively, with up to 2 friends to form a fire team of 3. These missions will take you throughout the galaxy to face off against the game's various enemy races, whilst putting a stop to whatever threat they pose to humanity. However, outside of missions, there are yet more co-op activities in the form of strikes, which are 3-man dungeons with a boss and loot at the end, Prison of Elders, a round-based mode that pits you against waves of enemies, the new Archon's Forge, added in Rise of Iron, which provides a larger public event space for multiple teams in the vicinity to get involved in, much more brute force, focused on taking out large groups of enemies as quickly as possible. There's also Court of Arekkz, Challenge of the Elders, and of course, the raids, Destiny's most challenging PvE encounters that will see teams of 6 Guardians enter a large-scale dungeon with bosses to defeat and mechanics to learn and overcome. There are now 4 raids in total, with Wrath of the Machine being the most recent, now offering some of the best, highest light gear in the game. But, for those of you with a competitive edge, there is also the Crucible, Destiny's PvP arena where you face off against other Guardians. And within the Crucible space you have Trials of Osiris, the weekly elimination based mode that rewards only the best of the best with loot from the Lighthouse. Iron Banner, the monthly activity that similarly tests Guardians in the Crucible, allowing them to use the best gear they've obtained thus far, and again, snag some awesome loot in the process. And for those of you guys looking to mess around, practice, or just explore the maps, then there are private matches too. However, if you want something to do on a daily basis, then Destiny also has a persistent world with daily challenges in the form of missions and bounties that you can complete for reputation and rewards, weekly activities like the Arrival of Azure, the Exotic Vendor, or the Gunsmith who provides weekly weapon options, and of course, everything resets on a weekly basis, allowing you to do it all over again. In addition to that, Destiny now has 3 social spaces, which are shared spaces where you can see and interact with other players, and most importantly, above all else, Destiny has an amazing community. So, that, in a very tiny nutshell, is what Destiny has to offer. Of course, if you are new to the series, then I would recommend checking out the playlist link down below, because that will give you a much more in-depth look at everything. However, for those of us that are now closing in on 400 light and have bested every challenge that stands in our way, what is next? Well, we are of course seeing out the remainder of the Festival of the Lost, Destiny's Halloween event, and as mentioned, next week we will likely face off against Asus in the next challenge mode for the Wrath of the Machine. But after that, Sparrow Racing League is on the horizon. For those of you that may have missed it last year, Sparrow Racing League, or SRL for short, gives Guardians a way to compete and use their Sparrows for something other than getting from point A to point B, or attempting to do a barrel roll and failing in the process. However, while last year's Sparrow Racing League offered 2 different tracks to race on, and a selection of Sparrows and gear to earn, Bungie stated that this year's SRL will be much bigger than before, and will also provide Guardians with things to do other than racing. Quite what those things will be remain to be seen, but I imagine we're going to hear more over the coming weeks. So in the meantime, you might want to start brushing up your Sparrow skills, because they're going to come in handy. And of course, once Sparrow Racing League is done, and we've seen the year out, well then the future is a pretty exciting prospect. There are so many places in the Destiny universe that we still have yet to visit, enemy forces that will more than likely reveal themselves in time, so if you don't want to miss the next chapter in the story, then I guess now is a good time to jump in, right? And that, my friends, is pretty much it. As mentioned, this is the final episode in this A View from the Tower series, so feel free to check out previous episodes if there's something you want to learn more about. And of course, keep it locked to the channel for much more Destiny content going forward. But for the time being, thank you for watching. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the series. If you want to know more about Destiny as well, you can also check out Games Hub, linked in the description box down below. And take it easy, catch you next time, peace out.